welcome to the first episode of Canada India Insight, a weekly talk show with prominent corporate and political leaders. Canada India Insight is also a monthly publication from Impact Media and Events Corporation, a Brampton, Ontario, Canada based media company. We are starting the first episode with the editorial we published in the May edition of Canada India Insight. You can see the publication and everything else on the company website www.imec.biz, imec.biz, and you can subscribe to our YouTube channel to watch more interviews, which we will be starting from next week, as I just mentioned. So here it is from the May edition of Canada India Insight. It is the end of May, and May is what we hear everywhere. Offices may reopen soon, life may become more normal soon, the virus may abate soon, people may be able to go out and move out more freely soon. I hope all this May ends with May and we get some more certainty in our life and work. It's high time, countries and provinces have started reopening again, even though the cases have also started going up again. It's a risk we have to take because not doing so will endanger a lot more lives and businesses. People need to treat this as if they are recovering from a serious illness. Yes, they have survived and now want to run again. But first, they need to start walking slowly, recover fully before they can run again. Another good thing is that media have finally realized there is life beyond corona and have started talking about a few other things, which is a very, very welcome change. If there is no second wave, rest assured, the airwaves and the newspaper pages will soon be filled with US election and Conservative Party leadership race. We have got both the front runners in the Conservative leadership race, Peter MacKay and Erin O'Toole, sharing their views on Canada India relations and other issues in this edition of Canada India Insight. Both are very critical of China, and if we take them on their word, a conservative government may behave very differently with China than the Trudeau liberals. I mean, our foreign minister, Mr. Champagne, avoiding to even say the word Taiwan, even when they are helping us out. Give me a break. This is the reason why China feels emboldened to do what it did in Hong Kong last week, and how arrogantly it is insulting other countries that dare to speak up. Cornered on corona, it seems China is now opening up multiple distraction points to divert the world's attention. Hong Kong is one example. Nepal objecting to India's link road construction, or Kailash Mansarovar at Lipu Lake Pass another. Chinese troops fighting with Indian soldiers in Ladakh and Sikkim another example. If there are some other flare-ups with North Korea, Pakistan, or elsewhere, no one should be surprised. At least I won't. I won't be. TV channels are especially very easy to distract. Give them a few new disaster or a new breaking story, and they will drop the old one in no time. Same goes for most people's memory. Let us hope the world does not get distracted and stay the course in finding answers to what really happened. Recent US action of putting a few Chinese companies on the blacklist, banning investment in China, blocking chip making technologies for Huawei, and selling off torpedoes to Taiwan is only the beginning in what could be a long battle for one-upmanship between the top two economic and military powers in the world. It will sure be a tightrope walk for Canada because it cannot afford to offend either of them. Dr. Harshvardhan, the Health Minister of India, has now become the Executive Board Chairman of the World Health Organization, WHO, at a time when countries had just started saying WHO who. It will be interesting to see what real powers he has to bring about any change at WHO to make it a bit more credible again. Getting rid of Mr. Tedros will be a good way to start. Although he still has 2 more years left in his term as Director General of WHO, although I mean, I believe he has lost all credibility and he needs to go. As simple as that. I guess most Canadians have also lost confidence in Dr. Theresa Tam, um, Dr. Theresa Tam, Canada's Chief Public Health Officer. It will be a good idea to get someone wiser in that position as well. In my conversations with the business organizations and decision makers at the highest levels in government, I have heard encouraging news that Canada India relations seem to be slowly getting back on track, with talks on CEPA and FIPA also doing rounds. As Erin O'Toole said, Canada India relations are much larger than the antics of any one leader. Without naming anyone, we certainly hope that is the case and antics are replaced by pragmatism and reality. At the same time, it is disheartening to note that our efforts to reach out to several cabinet ministers in the Trudeau government for this publication have not been very successful, except one, Minister Bardish Chagar, which is sending out confusing signals of this government's vision, especially on the India file. This is the fourth edition of Canada India Insight, and we have so far reached out to the Ontario Chamber of Commerce, Canadian Chamber of Commerce, high commissioners, provincial and federal ministers, and opposition leaders, as well as Business Council of Canada, CII, CIF, ICBC, and several other stakeholders in bilateral relations in an effort to hear and learn from everyone's knowledge and expertise. As some of you may be aware, we also organize corporate political events and conferences. And the Canada India Insight Conference, which was originally scheduled for March 25, is now taking place on October 23rd at Paramount Event Space in Vaughan. And now we have added this YouTube channel as well. So stay tuned, subscribe to our channel, and keep visiting and keep reading at imac.biz. And we'll try our best to bring you good content, good interviews, and lots of prominent personalities. Okay, so for now, take care, stay safe, and see you again soon.